Hello and welcome to the Empire of the Kop Podcast. With us here today, we've got our very own, of course, Peter Kenny-Jones and two very special guests, Mick Moran of the Kopites and, of course, Daz O'Connor, host of the Liverpool Connection podcast. Daz, long time no see. How are you keeping?
Yeah, good. Got two of my kids home today. They had the second vaccine yesterday, so they've got a bit of a fever today, so I just told them to keep it down in the living room.
Well, we'll be wishing them a quick recovery, I'm sure. Mick, how are you doing? It's been a while since we've had you on as well. It's good to get the pair of you on.
Yeah, I was just said before we start recording, it feels like a lifetime, to be honest. It feels like months, but actually it probably has been months, hasn't it? I can't even remember the last game when it was. But yeah, it's been nice to be back. Nice one for having me on. Absolutely.
I mean, what a game to have, the pair of you back on. Merseyside derby, 2-0 win, keeping the pressure on Manchester City in the title race. We'll get onto that all in a second. But what better way to kick off the podcast than again with the Pete quiz for the pair of you. You may not be familiar with it, something we just started. It's a player quiz, but I will let Pete do the honours in explaining the rules.
Well, it's not actually a player quiz anymore. I've changed it.
Oh, he's changed it.
I don't want to give anyone an advantage. See it all on it. So
I got excited there.
I'm going to keep.
I know. I really built it up.
Well, don't worry. This is better. I thought the last one was a bit like it wasn't great to play along with. There was a lot of pauses. So this one I've gone for more of a fast fire one. So I was going to let the guest pick, but there's two guests. So I don't know if one of you want to nominate yourself. But I've picked 4 Merseyside derbies. And each of them are a certain manager's first Merseyside derby, so it's the first time he ever managed one for Liverpool. And you've got to pick, you get 1 point for a Liverpool player, 2 points for an Everton player, and you've got to go back and forth and name the players. So you can play it safe, do Liverpool, or you can go hard, Everton. I've got 4 years for you to pick from, so Mick, Daz, whoever wants to take the year, but you've got the choice of 1962, 1991, 2004 and 2016. So you can pick any of them. And it's that whichever manager's first ever Merseyside derby. Anyone take it?
That's I was going to go for the 60s, Daz, but what do you reckon? Only messing. 2004, do you reckon?
4. We'll take 2004. We'll get it moving. So we'll go, because you picked Mick, you can go seconds. We'll go Daz, Mick, Farrell, in that order. You pick a player, and you get 2 points for Everton, 1 for Liverpool. You only got 3 lives, so you can be kicked out, so make it moving quick. The managers are included, and if you name a sub, you don't lose a life. It'll be easy, just name players. So the date was the 11th of December, 2004. It was played at Goodison. So we'll start with you, Daz. Name a player.
Gerrard.
Correct. 1 point. Should we call that one in? Yeah, go on, Mick.
I'm going to play it safe, go Carragher.
Correct. 1 point. Farrell.
Phil Neville.
Incorrect. 1 life lost. We went for the 2 points. So that's 1 of your 3 lives gone. Over to Daz.
Let's go Reece.
John Reece, correct. 1 point. Nick?
Oh, God. I think I might try and go for Everton, but are we on a time limit, or can I just stay here for ages?
I've got footy at 7. So.
An hour later.
So I've got an hour and 20 or something, haven't I?
That's fine, yeah.
Did you say that? Did you say Reece?
Yeah, Reece, Carragher and Gerrard have gone, and I should have said earlier you can name the managers, so I didn't feel bad here, sorry. I've given you an unfair advantage.
Oh, so it was obviously Rafa's first, weren't I?
Yep, that's yours gone. You've said Rafa. You want to make it. Rafa. 2, Farrell. You get yourself right back in this.
I'm going to go with Steve Finnan.
Steve Finnan.
Come on.
Finnan was on the bench. You do not lose a life, but you don't get a point either.
Okay, we'll take that.
Daz?
I'm going to go with Everton. Cahill.
Tim Cahill, correct. 2 points. Our first blue. Mick goes in the lead. Sorry, Daz goes in the lead, and over to Mick.
I'm out.
I'm just trying to remember that scummy Everton team. Oh, my God.
Reveal that Everton won the game 1-0.
Right. That might give me an idea then. Was that the Carsley game?
There it is. Thought I might answer 2 points.
My God.
Lee Carsley. Farrell to get off your duck.
Oh my God. Milan Barros. You've got to be kidding me.
Not in the squad. That's too high.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Good job you're not paid by anyone for your opinion on Liverpool.
I know. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Daz?
Garcia.
It was Garcia. Not on the squad. Life gone. Mick?
No one said Hippier, surely.
Are you saying it?
Yeah, no one else. I'm just checking. No one else has said it.
No one has said Sammy Hippier.
I'm panicking now. I'm thinking. I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, go for Sammy.
Sammy Hippier, correct. Put you in the lead. 5 points. All your lives gone. Still remaining. Sorry. Farrell, 1 life left. No points. Stop embarrassing yourself.
I know, it's embarrassing. Fucking hell. Just trying to.
We've got a goalkeeper, a defender, 3 midfielders, and 2 strikers for Liverpool left. Basically, the whole Everton squad and the Everton manager.
Be Dudek.
He's on the bench.
By the skin of my teeth.
He's still in, but still no points. Daz?
Alonso.
Shelby Alonso was on the bench. No points, no lives lost.
I was actually going to say Dudek. That makes me think who started then. I'll have a risky gamble on Kirkland. Surely.
Kirkland's correct. Started in goal. What a shot.
Oh my God. Can't believe I got that one.
2 in the lead. Farrell.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go for a gamble here, which could horrifically backfire.
So far.
Igor Biscan.
Not in the squad, and you are out, my friend.
Oh,
out with the duck.
Well, there you go.
That was my next guess. To be fair, so I'm glad you said that, Farrell.
As you've got 2 lives left.
There's a few. There's a few really niche.
It's a bit of a mad team, to be honest.
I'm surprised.
Well, Daz, it's 6-4 to me.
Haman.
Dietmar Hamann did start, correct. Mick?
Can you just go through who we've had so far? I'm trying to picture
for Liverpool, Chris Kirkland, Sammy Hippier, John Arne-Riese, Jamie Carragher, Steven Gerrard, Didier Mann. They've all gone, and you've named all of the subs: Dudek, Finnan, Alonso, and named Rafa Benitez. Everton, you've already got 2 players, none of the subs, and not the manager.
So 2004 was Moyes was still there, wasn't he? Surely.
That's what you're saying. Are you going to say it?
Yeah. I've got 3 lives. I'm going to risk it.
David Moyes is correct. 2 points, 8 points to Mick, 3-point lead over to Daz with your 2 lives left.
Let's go with who could be up front.
I was just thinking that.
And there's still 2 strikers, right?
Yeah.
Who the hell?
I think we've had Garcia and we've had Milan Barros. And they both weren't in the squad.
Oh my God.
I've just had a look at the lineups. It's a bastard.
I never picked it. You picked the year. Who are you going for?
That's not Heskey. No, he's gone.
We'll have to push you.
Heskey.
Emil Heskey is incorrect. Life gone. 1 life remaining. Mick?
Well, I was having the same thought process as Daz there and trying to figure out who was up front. Oh my God. I'm just thinking of that time. It's Pongol days, isn't it? Pongol, Mellor and all that. So I'll go Pongol.
Correct. Florence Cinema Pongol. 9-5. One life left, Daz.
The other striker can't be Mellor. No way.
Are you saying it? Yes or no?
God, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? Those two.
This is tense.
Right.
I have to push it, Daz.
You know what, sod it. Do it.
Yeah, Neil Mellor is correct. What a strike force.
What?
Neil Mellor and Florence Cinema Pongol.
Good God.
Come a long way since then, haven't we?
That is horrific.
We lost 1-0 as well. So you've got 3 Liverpool players left and 9 Everton players and Everton's manager. But we've had the manager, sorry, you said.
Yeah, we've had the manager, yeah. I'm just trying to think of Everton. How many Liverpool players have we got left, did you say?
1, 2, 3 left.
3? Oh, my God.
You've got a defender and 2 midfielders.
I'll just go for, I can't think who would be for Liverpool. I'll just go for, was Baines at Everton then? Oh, my mind just like, it's hard to picture that time, isn't it? I'll go for Baines.
Baines, incorrect. Life lost. That's last life.
Down to me. It's 1 midfielder left, right?
Yeah, 1 midfielder, 1 winger, 1 defender. That's what I'd say.
1 winger. Cool.
Harry Kewell is correct. He's breathing down your neck, Mick.
Oh.
The midfielder score is 9-7.
So there's one midfielder, 1 defender left.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think of Rafa's Mad Simon's Spanish contingent. Who haven't we said?
We'll have to push you.
I'll just go for one of the worst. Hossamy, I haven't got a clue.
Correct.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Hossamy at the back.
So
over to Daz.
1 midfielder left.
1 midfielder.
Right.
And you've got 1 life left.
Oh, Jesus Christ. McAllister.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
You are out. Mick takes the prize.
Who was it?
So I'll give you the full team. The Liverpool team was Chris Kirkland, Hossamy, Carragher, Hippier, Risa. And we've got a bit of a mad midfield. I don't really know who's playing where. We've got Harry Kewell, Steven Gerrard, Didier Mann, Salif Diao, Florence Cinema Pongol, and Neil Mellor. And surprisingly, that team lost 1-0 to the Everton team. That was Nigel Martin, Tony Hibbert, Alan Stubbs, David Weir, Pistoni, Carsley, Leon Osman, Thomas Gravison, Tim Cahill, Kevin Kilban, and Marcus Bent. And it was 1-0 Lee Carsley goal.
I mean, that's still not a better team than the one Liverpool put out, is it? It's still not. Oh,
That's
unbelievable.
Alonso on the bench and that. But yeah, that's the end of the quiz. Sorry, it was a bit longer than the other one, but there we are. Hope you all enjoyed.
Well done, mate, lads.
Yeah.
No, it's good
well
that.
done, Mick. Well done, everyone.
Fair play.
And you're back to
Fair
fan.
play, lads. Congratulations to Mick, the first champion of our new format of the Pete Quiz, as it shall be known henceforth in the lands and beyond. But
This is my last ever appearance because I don't want to ever give up the title.
We need to make a little leaderboard going forward, seeing winners throughout. But whilst we're on the topic of the Merseyside derby, of course, we have to talk about that 2-0 win at Anfield against Everton to keep the pressure up on Man City. Mick, I'm going to start off with you here on your thoughts on the game, because it was quite physical. Everton had absolutely no intention of it making it a footballing game, and understandably that the golf and quality is there. But a terrific performance in the second half to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I think the first half, I expected Everton to sit back and obviously make the lines as small as they could, and they did it, and they did it really well, to be fair to them. That was the game plan. They stuck true to it, and they did well. We just knew for second half we needed to come out that little bit sharper. I think the introduction of Diaz and Henderson and Origi, those type of players, the fact that those three combined for the second goal, it's just, I think it speaks levels about how good this squad is and how much depth we've got in this squad now. Like Henderson doesn't even start, and I'm sure he's absolutely livid about that, as he hasn't started another game earlier last week as well. He didn't start that one as well, but it just goes to show that how good we are in depth at the moment. But yeah, it was a great win, a much needed win. I think it was. I don't know if I was discussing this actually before the game. Like, was it like the biggest derby we've had in the Premier League era? It's definitely up there for me, just because how important it was to us, but how important it was to them in terms of them going into the relegation zone and needing the points, and us still chasing down City's 4-point lead at the Abs, and now we're back to 1. But yeah, there was a lot of pressure on us, and the fact that we came out that second half and started to pass the ball a little bit better, started to move the ball a bit quicker, because we were playing into their hands first half. It was gritty, and we were just kind of, like, I think Robbo did an interview after the game saying we were stooping to their level in terms of just making it a bit of a dogfight rather than just using the quality that we've got all over the pitch. And I'm glad we got that first goal, because the relief just washed over me. I was just like, thank God we got it. But yeah, a great win, and yeah, just long may it continue, and hopefully the Ev don't win too many more the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, gritty is absolutely the perfect word to describe it. I mean, Daz, there was a fair bit of controversy throughout the fixture. Everton complained after the match about the shove on Anthony Gordon early on in the second half. I mean, I've looked back and I can understand if it was given, but then you'd argue, actually, I mean, they got away with some pretty dirty stuff on the day. How did it all sort of sit with you?
First 45 minutes was probably one of the worst 45 minutes of football, anti-football I've ever watched. Everton came with a plan to frustrate us, and they did. You could see it with Mane. You know, on another day, Mane could have got sent off quite easily. I listened to Dermot. One of the refs was talking about it and was like, if VAR had kind of gone back and looked at Mane, you know, he kind of did the Three Stooges thing with Holgate, and then in the face with Allen. We were playing into their book, you know, in the first 45. After that, I thought we kind of settled really nicely. And then, yeah, as Mick said, once that goal went in, oh man, it was just a complete, like, yes. I actually thought we were going to score about like three or four more past them. You could just see that they're a nothing team. They really are, you know. But on a derby day, you know, they were looking for a point, and they got 0, which is what they deserved. And listening to Lampard at the end of the match, just the whole, like, you know, Salah would have got that if it was on the other foot, and I don't think he would have. I mean, how many penalties has Salah got this season? Not that many. You know, it's the same. Gordon's a good little player, but it's one of those, isn't it? Like, he already dived, and he was looking for that second one. I mean, Matip shouldn't have pushed him. You know, I mean, on first glance, I was like, no, that's not a penalty. But when you look at it again and again, you're just kind of like, it could have been given. But I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad, you know, VAR didn't get involved. But I even think if he would have looked back on the monitor, it was not enough there for a penalty for me. And we deserved to win it. And for Origi, that's just like another slap in the face for Evertonians. I love it, you know. I mean, build him a statue. Come on.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's the perfect man to sort of come on and get the goal. I mean, it's interesting you mentioned Lampard's comments on the game on Salah. I think that there's a mad stat going around. I mean, I've got it right here. Salah's been awarded 4 free kicks in his last 908 minutes of Premier League football. Lampard's claim is, you know, so far-fetched. It's not even close to the reality of the situation. But, you know, it is what it is. We've come to expect it. I mean, Pete, we have to give you some dedicated time here to speak about Divock Origi and a fixture that, you know, frankly, he was born to play in. You know, but a tremendous footballer, tremendous professional. I mean, build him a statue, as Daz said.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll put £1 in. If we all do it, we'll get it built soon enough. But yeah, I think I wrote something in January because it looked like, he might have been going then and we weren't sure. I just said, every time he comes on the pitch now, it really could be his last time because it looks like AC Milan's looming for him. And every goal he scores possibly is going to be his last. He doesn't get 20 a season. We'll get about 10 max probably. So that could be the last goal he ever scores for us, and it could be the last time he comes on the pitch for us because if Bobby Firmino was injured, it would have been Bobby coming on, really, wouldn't it? So I think for him, you can't. I think the things he's done in Liverpool shirt, I reckon the money that he could have sold those memories for, if anyone would swap position with him, is just unbelievable. And to have a player like him who's, again, after the game, just saying, "Oh, yeah, I just work hard in training and I'll turn up again whenever I get my next opportunity." To have that mindset and to be that good, and to surely he's got a big enough CV to go and knock on Klopp's door and saying, "Why aren't I starting every week? Because what more do you want me to do with the minutes I get?" But he's not like that, and he's literally the perfect player that you could have in the role he's in. He must be a dream for Klopp to have. Just, you can turn around, you rely on him. If you don't pick him, he's not going to be sulking the next day. It's just, yeah. What a guy. And I think that moment, just when you saw him score, it was tinged. Obviously, you laugh because you think it's funny, but we should expect it as well because he is that good. And who knows, as I say, if that's the last time we'll ever see him or last time we'll see him score. But, he likes the Champions League as well. And we never know what might happen against Villarreal or in the final. And you never know what a couple of injuries can do. So, fingers crossed, probably we don't see him again because it means that we've got a fully fit squad. But if we do, well, you wouldn't rule him out with maybe one more big moment.
No, we couldn't have said it better ourselves. Sadly, some news that has emerged from the club, which is slightly marred the victory. I'm going to talk about going to the finances around Liverpool Football Club and specifically shirt sponsorship deals, because Standard Chartered's arrangement with Liverpool is due to end in May 2023. And according to a report from The Athletic, the club is considering a cryptocurrency partner on the shirt, which, I mean, after the whole business with the NFTs, which, just didn't really feel right. I mean, it still doesn't feel right for a club and its fan base. Where do you stand on this? Because you can understand the finances around it. The club are trying to close the gap between ourselves and Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester City, but it just doesn't track well with the club's ethos or values.
Yeah, whenever there's like a tweet put up, there's usually, I mean, they can't really gauge Twitter as like a proper medium for anything normal, because usually it's a lot of crap on Twitter, whatever you put up. But you can kind of see even like big accounts like not agreeing with it, like saying this isn't the right way to go. And I think, yeah, I agree. It's not quite the right thing to do, especially like you said, Farrell doesn't fit what we're all about, family values, a family club, and a club that wants to compete at the highest level, but not in a way that could maybe impinge on the morals and the values of the club. So, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't know like loads about it, so I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to make myself look stupid. But just from the little that I do know, it maybe doesn't seem like the right way to go. And there's surely other ways we can go about this in terms of making sure we're competing at the highest level, which we are, but doing it in a way that, like I said, like kind of fits the way that we go about our business in a normal way.
Absolutely. I mean, Daz, £70 million over 2 seasons is a figure that has been quoted. It'd be a lucrative arrangement. I mean, are we reaching a point where if we do want to try and close that almost insurmountable gap between, the oil-funded clubs in the Premier League, where we're having to consider these sort of measures? Or, is it still the case of, come on, there's other ways around this, and ultimately you're at a club with a world-class recruitment team that doesn't necessarily need to blow 100 million per player to reach the highest peaks of football?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's just, again, it's the values of it doesn't sit too well with me, and I'm sure it doesn't sit too well with a lot of people. There's got to be other avenues that they're exploring. Again, Twitter, hearsay, until like the club actually comes out with something, concrete, then we'll see where it's at. I want to go back, and I'm quite happy that Pete's got the Carlsberg on, because why can't we go back there? It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Pete, those were the days indeed, the Carlsberg days. But I mean, you have to think though, realistically, the point that we did agree the Standard Chartered deal to the point we are now, it is vastly different. We're talking Premier League European champions competing for a slice of history with a potential quadruple. We don't want to jinx it, of course, but we know we remain, with a reasonably good chance of achieving at least a treble, potentially a quadruple. We'll see how the season plays out. Pete, where do you stand on the whole sponsorship?
Well, did you say the figure then was 70 mil? Is that what you said over
70 million. Yeah, it's what's been bandied about.
Because I did an article, I was just checking then, because I saw that the Athletic said it was 40 mil a year we were getting off Standard Chartered anyway. So I was surprised how low that was, to be on the front of your shirt. Obviously, I don't have 40 mil in the back of my couch, but you know what I mean? It feels like, to be how prominent it is on every picture and every shirt and whatever, it feels like it'd be a higher figure than that. But it doesn't seem worth the bad connotations that come with this cryptocurrency and whatever, and the same as Mick, and I don't really understand it fully myself, but it doesn't seem worth selling yourself for that amount of money. So if they were offering 10 times what Standard Chartered were, then you go, yeah, fine, but I just don't think it's not worth doing it, because we don't know where it's going to end up, and it's all quite new, isn't it? So yeah, if we can bring back one of the old ones, I think that's what we'd all have. If we could get a Candy or Carlsberg back on the front. I don't know if they've got the same budget anymore, that's the thing, isn't it? But yeah, see, we're all good. Free sponsorship for everyone here. Empire of the Kop would look good as well. But we'll I think, yeah, it just seems a bit too murky. Just why not play it safe? We're one of, if not the best team in the world right now. So surely someone a bit more reputable will be more willing to cough up the same amount of money.
So I'm just going to say, I think we're running out of time. So can I just quickly run round and get everyone's quick thoughts on the upcoming Villarreal Champions League first leg game in the semi-final. Mick, what are you feeling about the game, and what scoreline are you going with?
The dreaded scoreline shout. I'm not sure about the scoreline, honestly. I think that it's a difficult one, because we're at home first, aren't we? So and you kind of that's not the way we like to do it. We usually like to have the home game second, but then you throw in the fact that away goals don't count anymore. So even if Villarreal do manage to nick one, it's not like, oh God, we have to go to their place and they're going to flat back 10 and we're going to have to break through we had to against Everton. I think it's going to be a good game, and obviously they've beat the teams that they've beat so far. I think they beat Bayern Munich and Juventus, haven't they, on the way? So it's like they're nothing to be underestimated in terms of the quality, and obviously they've got a good manager as well. Some really good players, a lot of pace in there as well, which I think is why we might see Kanate come in for that one. But yeah, it should be a good game. I can't wait for it. The fact that we're going to their place second, like I said, I always think it's a bit more difficult to do that. Like I said, I'd always like to be at Anfield first, but that's just the way it goes. But I still fancy us to do it. I'm glad we got Villarreal rather than Real Madrid. That's one way to look at it. Even though it's still going to be a difficult game, I'd rather be on the side of the draw that we are on in terms of going to get into the final. But yeah, hopefully, even if we win 2-0, 1-0, I'll take it. I didn't take 1-0. Just as long as we get a lead going into that second game. Then we should be okay, hopefully. And like Peter said earlier, if we can keep everyone fit, obviously Bobby, I think it's only Bobby that's out at the moment, isn't it? If we can keep everyone fit going forward with these games coming thick and fast, then bring them on. It feels like every 3 days we've got another massive game, and this is just another one. It's getting to the point where I'm going to be bankrupt by May. I'm going to have absolutely no money left, but just bring it on. This is what we live for. These are the days we want. Go on the match and soaking up the atmosphere and spending the crap load of money. But yeah, bring them on. It's going to be a good game either way. Like I said, I'll take a 1-0 now if you're offered me. But yeah, if we get more, then even better going into that second game, because it's going to be a difficult one going up to their place, definitely.
What do you reckon, Daz? At 1-0 as well, or a bit bigger?
I'd like 5-0, but I know that's not. You know me. Last time I said I've never done a prediction. The only thing I think we'll win, whether it's 1-2-0, I don't think they'll score. I think Canute comes back in. I was surprised that we played Thiago against Everton. I thought he was going to get rested. So he'll be fresh
I did too.
Wednesday. So I was really surprised at that. I thought Hendo would actually swap. But no, I think we're a good enough team. We can beat them. But I'd like to see 2-0 just because it's at our place first. I am a bit, nervous about going to theirs for second leg. If we can take a healthy lead, then we've got the team. So and a European night at Anfield is going to be rocking. I wish I could be there, but yeah, that would really cost me some money to get over there and then come back here to get the kids to school. So nothing but a win on Wednesday though.
How about you, Pete? I mean, 5-0 seems like a scoreline you'd boldly go for, but what are you feeling?
Well, I watched the highlights of the Roma game back when we won 5-2. And I remember, obviously then we thought we would won at 5-0, didn't we? And the 2 goals at the end made it all dead scary. So I think hopefully it should be that performance without the complacency. So yeah, I was going to say 5-0, but it got touted twice there. But I think it's probably our least important game of the season to go, which is mad because it's a Champions League semi-final, just because I think we can't afford to lose any other game, Premier League otherwise, and we can catch it back up in the second leg if anything does go drastically wrong. But I still think we're going to go out flying like we did against City, like we did against United, and yeah, just try and get as many early goals as we can. I think this team is experienced enough to know that we just don't concede a goal, and we want any team to come out against us. We don't want to be having to do it against them with 10 men behind the ball because they leave gaps and we should score. So let's go at them. Let's go and score 5. Divock Origi off the bench maybe again, get his last one. Add another few pounds to his statue fund, and then that'll be a nice day. As you say, your bank balance and your liver's getting ruined, but that's what it's all about. And there's only months to go, so let's enjoy it while we can.
Divock Origi masterclass. I mean, who knows at Anfield? We come out the blocks quickly. I reckon it'll be a 3-0 to Liverpool. It's what I'm hoping for. A nice, comfortable lead to take back into Spain. Just before we all sign off, of course, thanks again to Daz O'Connor and Mick Moran for coming on to the Empire Kop Podcast. Mick, anything you'd like to plug quickly before we all say cheerio?
No, to be honest, I feel like I've had 2 months off from doing my own stuff. So I've got a few things in the pipeline, but I haven't got around to do anything yet. But no, just happy to. I was glad when you texted me actually, because I was like, I haven't talked about the Reds on a pod for ages. So yeah,
you're getting the itch. Yeah, no, our pleasure.
Yeah,
our pleasure. No, we'll be keeping an eye on that. I'm sure you can follow Mick Moran on the Kop Podcast, top man. Daz, anything on your end? I know you tend to have a lot of fingers and a lot of pies.
We just did our second one with Tony Evans, and just absolutely, he's so down to earth, but he's so truthful. He doesn't hold back. So that's our next episode, and then we've got I know Mick will know who this is, Brian Nash from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Hopefully he won't sing, but. He's coming on, and I've got Jamie Webster coming back on, me mate. So looking forward to that. But yeah, all good, busy. Keeping me head out of trouble. So that's good.
Good to hear, mate. That's good to hear. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you both back on the podcast. Here with us today, of course, we've had Peter Kenny-Jones, Daz O'Connor of the Liverpool Connection podcast, and Mick Moran of the Kopite. In the wings, working hard as ever, we've had, of course, Rick Elliott and our very own Peter Kenny-Jones. I've been your host, Farrell Keeling. Thank you for watching. Take care. We've been the Empire of the Kop Podcast.